Okay, we are back. Hopefully you're hearing me perfectly fine now. We'll see whether or not that's the case. Technical difficulties do happen when we're going live, and how's it sounding, everyone? Okay, fantastic, perfect. So, we'll try that again. Kia ora, guys and gals. I'm Rikon. Welcome to the Town Hall. This is a hangout between yourselves and me. We've had some technical difficulties this morning. Things are still going to be a little staggered as well, unfortunately. It is the nature of the beast today. Essentially, to give you the long story short, what's happened, what's gone wrong, and kind of, how my morning has been. Essentially, I've got two different programs on this computer that I use to stream, OBS Studio and just straight up OBS. I've been using straight up OBS for years now, and I haven't made the move onto the actual studio software itself yet. But I was kind of forced to do that this morning because OBS, for some reason, decided to actually just completely itself. And yeah, so for now, this is what we got. This is what we got for an on-the-day fix. This is how I've been able to kind of fix it, because for the most part, usually there aren't any issues at all. Usually it works perfectly fine, but that's a little bit of the behind the scenes for you. But anyway, let's get this thing underway. Please let me know if the music or anything else is too loud at any one point, and I'll go ahead and change that. But yeah, we're all here, and that's the main thing. So let's just get this thing underway. If you have any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to answer those. And yes, that is Gallic the Guard wandering around in the background, making sure that the town is safe, that I'm safe, that he's got my back, so that's good. So yeah, thank you, Damocles. What issues? Exactly, what issues? We are underway now, and we should be running a little bit, well, at least the chat, at the least, should be running at a lower latency to what we would have, so, yeah. Okay, so, the Ranting English. Season 2 of Zealand is going to be coming very, very soon. We are recording the first episode of that the following week now, yeah, so actually Saturday next week we're going to be doing it, so, I've kind of teased some of you already with Zealand, and it's going to be very, very different to the first season for a number of different reasons. So it's going to be, well, I can just say there's going to be a fair bit of a twist starting off the season itself. So I would hope it's a twist that none of you could see coming. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for at the very least. But that is that's going to be coming soon. So we're recording it then. It just depends how long the post-production side of it takes, because it is a new season. It takes a little while to get that underway, so I'm hoping that it's going to be the following week is going to be the first one, so yeah. And no, it's not audio only. Yeah. No, it's video as well. It's the same as normal. That's not the twist. That'd be a terrible twist. That'd be a really bad twist. Yeah. Liam, so the Fallout 4 roleplay. I've explained to some of you in the past essentially how that's going at the moment. I'm constructing a movie, which is the prequel for our main series itself. And right now, how everything is on the channel, I'm essentially editing that whenever I have spare time. Whenever I have a spare moment, I'm editing that. But at the moment, things are pretty crazy for myself. Obviously, you know that there is a lot of material going up on the channel at the moment. Not only that, but behind the scenes, I'm also finishing work on Zealand. We're going to be we're almost at a published state of the book at the moment. I'm going through an editing at the moment, so essentially making sure that everything makes sense, that all the lore is actually connected and grounded, and that grammatically it reads well. So sometimes I have to go back and double check things, because when I write, I sometimes write too far ahead of myself, and I will just leave things. So that's the long and short of it. That's been taking up a fair bit of time behind the scenes. So essentially, whenever I have a moment when I'm not recording, which is usually in the evenings, I'll be working on that as well. So things are busy here. It's not that I don't want to do it. I desperately do want to do it, but I have a commitment to the series that are already on the channel itself, and I want to do them justice at the same time. So I don't want to be doing anything half-assed, essentially. So the way that I kind of see it is, once something's out there in the world, it's out there forever. I want it to be as good as possible, and yeah. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going to get it to you as soon as I can. I'd love to be able to give a hard date. Once I do have one, once it's completed, there will be a hard date, and we'll actually sort out when that's going to be coming out. But yeah, there we go. yeah, it's a lot of it's just down to scheduling as well. We're kind of chock-a-blocked at the moment. Every week I end up running over, so essentially I try and set things as much as possible, set hours as much as possible, and each week, for one reason or another, there always seems to be something that overflows, and I end up working more, and I end up losing time where I should be working on Zealand, and then I have to make that up elsewhere, and it's an endless cycle, unfortunately. But here's hoping that things should start to level out a little bit more, and we'll see. Oh, Chloe, who's your favorite Zealand? Oh, that might change. That might change coming season. Congratulations, Booty. I'm trying to read the whole thing there. Oh, cool. Well, that's, I'm sorry that didn't work out, but I'm glad that there is, you know, something to help there. Yeah. 10. What game that hasn't been mentioned by us, or that you can remember, would you like to roleplay the most? Something that I'm really excited about at the moment is, Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've been excited about it for a long time. It hasn't turned into the game that I thought it was going to when I originally heard about it, but I'm still excited about it at the same time. I don't think we'll be able to do a full-blown roleplay with it, but at the same time, we're still going to be able to do something with it. Whether it's like a, you know, kind of more of like a narrative let's play, where it's like still character-driven, but I'm not voicing the character as much because the character does have a voice. That's not a problem in Bethesda games because we can really screw with the files. We can get in there, we can remove stuff, we can change pretty much everything. But with that, because it's an unknown structure, I'm not sure how I would do that. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. Snake Doctor, I have played Deus Ex. I haven't actually played the originals. I've only played Mankind Divided. Was that the third one, I think, possibly? I really, really enjoyed it. I haven't played the new one, which might actually be Mankind Divided. I can't remember. No, Human Revolution is like the third one, right? Yeah, but I freaking love those. I did see there's someone else mentioned Subnautica as well. That's one that I was going to be doing as a surprise. I still want to do it as well, but essentially it's that time thing again. It's whether or not that will actually fit into the schedule, because right now we are actually at capacity. I don't think we could, you know, I don't think we could do any more of that. Techno Amists, you must have just joined because we just did a big talk about the Fallout. It's back there. It's back there. I'm going to try as best as possible not to go over the same things again and again because I know there are going to be a lot of questions and there isn't a lot of time. Kyrak, there wasn't any XCOM this week. It was just running behind, unfortunately. That might be one that becomes a fortnightly series. Possibly, and that's just because I'm looking at a way to free up a bit more time to be able to add things in. Now, whether or not we go with variety and we have a number of different series, or if we try and double down on what we have, because that's the tough thing, right? I know that a lot of people want to have different stuff, and I do too, because variety is the spice of life. It keeps me, you know, it keeps me engaged and it keeps me challenged. But yeah, it's tough because if we spread ourselves out too much, the audiences will become more and more divided. So yeah, it's a real tough thing. If I could duplicate myself and if I could have a separate channel where we do a whole heap of other things as well, I would. But unfortunately, there is only so much time right now. So yeah, T-Man, unfortunately, there isn't like anything I can expand into right now because like the way that I'm making everything at the moment is we are pretty much at capacity. So if I can duplicate myself, I'm sure there are some tutorials online. I think there's just like a right-click, drag, / drop something, and then it duplicates me. Maybe. I've heard it works like that. I can't remember what they taught us in school. Yeah, something like that. We'll give that a go. Yeah. What's the next RP to expect? Gabe. I'd like to say Fallout 4. I'd like to say it is going to be the full Fallout 4 one, but it really just depends on my time outside of the regular schedule. I would like it to be that one because that's the one that's been in the wings for the longest. Well, that and Dishonored. Dishonored's been in the wings for a very, very long time, but I've really put that on the back burner for now. Damocles, yes we are. It's kind of dependent on art at this stage. We've had a little bit of a speed bump with art. I'm actually going to be releasing a update video on the Kickstarter about that, so you can probably look for that message coming out there. But we've had a little bit of a delay essentially, so that might mean that that hards are getting out later. But it just all depends. It all depends at this stage. But we are on track at this stage. It just might be a little. But yeah. Cool. Yeah. We'll have a good chat about this. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll do it elsewhere. So, Wanderer, I feel like I just answered that question. Ah, dear. Maybe we're still having audio issues. I don't know. I don't know. Pringles, you've been working on one. Oh, okay. So, if you're interested in knowing how I do actually make my roleplays, it's still pretty current. There is a video that I made a while back called Behind the Scenes of, it was like, let's roleplay Skyrim behind the scenes. Maybe someone might be able to link that in the chat here. But essentially, that is my whole process, and that really hasn't changed that much. Yeah, all the commands and stuff that I use are pretty much the same. I don't think it's very different than what I've been doing. So, yeah. So if someone could try and get that to Gabe, that'd be. Essentially, the easiest way to find it is just go to my channel and search for Behind the Scenes, and you'll be able to find it. But it's all there. Essentially, my editing process, how I record it, and yeah. Oh, thank you, Booty. You're a star. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, and Duck getting in there as well. Good. Yep, so that is it if you're interested in the process. So there you go. That's how I do it. And essentially it's all the same. Oh, good. So you've seen it, Nuggets. Yeah. Yeah, so ranting English, I enjoy doing that as well, because not everyone has seen Cataclysm, and I really enjoy those characters, so being able to give them another life, another chance, has been quite cool. Just because, you know, we did spend a lot of time with those characters, and it's nice to be able to kind of revisit them, and, you know, and have an entirely different experience with them, because the Fallout 4 Wasteland is really different from the Cataclysmic Wasteland, I guess you'd say. But yeah, they're very different from each other, and it means that the characters change a little bit as well. So I don't see Noah being as, you know, Nodachi orientated in Fallout 4. So yeah, she's definitely going to be that. She's going to be more, or you know, using her long range weapons as much as possible, just a little bit safer. Although we know that we can die from pretty much anything in Frost, so. Stately Raven, I'm glad that you've enjoyed seeing her as well. I mean, she was my first Cataclysm character, so yeah, I spent a lot of time with her, and that's where the hatred began. That's where the hatred of a particular type of zombie began. So yeah. T-Man, you say that Cataclysm doesn't seem like your thing. Can you sell the series to someone who isn't sure? So essentially, Cataclysm is a game that does all the things that we want to be able to do in and any other kind of post-apocalyptic survival game. You have essentially unlimited crafting options. You can take your character in so many different directions. And there are two different ways you can kind of play it, right? Because traditionally, Cataclysm is an ASCII game. So that's just using numbers, letters, strokes, etc. to display characters. And for some people, that's really, really good because, you know, that just enables them to then inject their imagination into it, and that becomes the graphics engine. But I find even with tiles, I still find it possible, and tiles just make it a little bit more easy for me to immediately understand or see what something is. So when I'm playing Cataclysm, when I'm kind of giving descriptions of actions and stuff like that the characters are taking, it's coming, that's what I'm seeing in my imagination while I'm playing, because it is, you know, just straight up top down, very simplistic tiles, etc. You know, you are able to use your imagination to really set the scene of where you are, and I think the sounds help that as well. Having a good sound pack with it really does make a difference. But you know, it's procedurally generated. The entire world is different every single time. Yeah, I don't know, like it is one of, if not my favorite game of all time, just because it's a free game. It's made by a community of, you know, really passionate developers, and yeah, it's just it's hard to put into words or sell it to someone who doesn't like it. I'd say give the series a try, because I think that's a good introduction into it itself. You know, and that's the thing, is you can start on any one of those, be it Noah, Elliot, or Dusk. You know, you can start on any of those, and that'll give you a good idea of, you know, what it is like. But it's an awesome game, and it's super addictive. It seems much more difficult to get started in than you might think it is. There's actually a really good series that someone has just produced recently. I saw it on Reddit. It is called, it's like the Cataclysm University or something. So it's essentially, it's like a university course in Cataclysm. So it tells you the basics and then goes into more and more advanced things. I'd love to post it. I'm actually going to post it on Facebook and Twitter. So if you're looking out for it, I'm going to post it there. And it's really cool. Abros Games, are there any new role players that you've found? Personally, I found someone named Mahu is doing a Stellaris roleplay. That's really interesting. So is it like a narrative roleplay, or like how does that work? I'd be intrigued to know how that works, because like in terms of strategy role players, Officially Devon is probably one of my favorite, because he does narrative let's plays, and they are, you know, using strategy games to tell stories, and that's freaking awesome. Very cool. Yes, that is right. So Nuggets, that is correct. It's Vormithrax's Cataclysm University. I highly recommend it. I watched the first few episodes. It's well produced. All the information is there, and it's up to date as well. So it's really cool. Skumikin, you finally made the town hall. Awesome. Excellent. Damn. Okay, well, I'm glad you're able to make it. I'm glad you're able to make it, my man. Glad you're here. Nick Moore, what are your thoughts on Fallout 4's lore breaking, ignoring, because there's been a lot of that in game, like concerning Jet? Yeah, I mean, I feel like it isn't too difficult for them to get that right, because it is just like it's essentially like the reason Jet's turning up in places it shouldn't be is because it's the way the random loot kind of works. And there aren't many items that are kind of post that, you know, wouldn't be like, because that's the whole thing, right? You find a vault or a safe that's been sealed since before the apocalypse, and there's like 200 caps in the area. Why was someone collecting bottle caps before the apocalypse? So yeah, I feel like those would be easy fixes to make, because it's just an item population thing, and there probably are mods out there that would fix that. But yeah, it'd be nice if they did, because it's not a difficult thing to change. So yeah, I don't know. By mistake, Dante. Yeah, maybe it is. It could just be something that they've overlooked, but it is one of those things where it's just like, if they're overlooking that, what else are they overlooking? I don't know. It's easy to you know, shit on developers, and I don't like to, because they do an amazing job with what's given to them, and I do think that Bethesda did an amazing job with Fallout. But yeah, it's little things like that. It's little things like that that take you out of it. Hey, what are my thoughts on WoW? I used to play WoW. Like pretty much I think everyone else used to play WoW. So yeah. I enjoyed it when I played it, but that was a long time ago. Long time. Stately Raven, you mentioned that I'd be interested in doing a Cataclysm playthrough where you're a character trying to survive in a massive city. Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely love it. I've actually got 2 characters in mind, and thank you very much, Aesthetic Gaming. Thank you. I'll make sure that I do actually answer your question there. But yeah, so I've got 2 characters planned. One in like a massive super city, which would be a hell of a lot of fun. And the other one I want to do is someone that's just constantly traveling in one direction. Like traveling north or traveling east. But like that's their goal. They just live life on the road, maybe on a motorcycle or something like that. And they're just like constantly on. But Aesthetic Gaming, the book that I'm writing at the moment is Zealand. So the podcast that you see on the channel, Zealand, that is a post-apocalyptic survival horror role-playing game. Now, it's a tabletop role-playing game that you play with friends. You can play it online, you can play it in person. But essentially, it's a full system, and that book is all the rules, all the art. Like it's the world itself encompassed into the book. Everything that you need to play in there, and that's what I'm working on, and it is probably the biggest project I've ever worked on in my life. So yeah, it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's a hell of a lot of fun. It's been a massive challenge, but it's been really, really. How often am I going to do the Darkest Dungeon streams? Essentially, Yuli, that is the same kind of thing. It's like whenever I have spare time. So, essentially, what I'm trying to do when I'm doing those is whenever I'm exporting something or, yeah. Otis, has anyone else noticed some breaking with Rykon's voice? My voice is probably getting tired because I only just realized the other day that I talk all day, like all day, just to you guys. I talk into this microphone all day. So I'm trying to take steps to protect my voice as much as possible because, especially on like super voice heavy days, because not a lot of the role plays I'm talking all the time and I'm doing those in character voices. So I am careful when I'm doing them. But when I'm doing things like RimWorld and Cataclysm, I record those all on the same day. And so from like the morning, like from sunrise to sunset, I'm talking constantly the entire day. And by the end of the day, my voice is almost always sore. So yeah, that's it's possible that you're hearing some kind of breaking in my voice because, yeah, it takes its effect. It certainly does. Yeah, exactly, Booty. That's why I stopped doing Doom because, yeah, my Doom character, I don't think everyone's seen it here, but the Doom roleplay that I was doing, that was absolutely annihilating my voice. So Doom Guy probably isn't coming back, Stately Raven. I don't think so. So yeah. Elizabeth, I'm glad you like the hairstyle. I'm actually doing something different with it at the moment. I've kind of got it tied at the back here. I don't know if you can properly see it, but yeah, that's where the beard ring is today. Everyone was asking like where the beard ring is. It's actually on the back of my head today. I decided to beard it. Yeah, there we go. Can I give an example of Doom Guy? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it takes a bit of work. Is it considered an undercut? I don't know. Charlotte actually cuts my hair. She just waves on the sides. And yeah, there we go. Yeah. Have I ever played Dying Light? No, but I plan to play through it. Actually, Triton got it for me for Christmas, and I've been planning to try and play through it with him together. So yeah. Is my mic cutting out sometimes? Let's see. We might have some more technical difficulties. It's good? Okay, alright. A little. Okay. Oh dear. More technical difficulties, it would seem. Yes. Okay, alright. As long as it's for half a second every so often, okay. Well, as long as it's not too noticeable. Every second or two. Oh, every minute or two. Okay, okay. Yeah, it could be the noise gate. I think it is the noise gate. So essentially, this is what I was talking about early on in the stream. I had to rebuild all of this from scratch first thing this morning, and it was literally like half an hour before the stream started because everything else dropped out. So yeah, yeah, Blood Mime. It could be a hell of a lot of fun. So I think it's something that we might try and do. It might be another live stream one. It might be something that we do like Darkest Dungeon. We'll see. But yeah. T-Man, she doesn't, but we have been doing one together, which was Scarlet Takes. I haven't been able to work on that for a very, very long time, just because of how crazy things are on here at the moment. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to read through the chat. I'm trying to figure out if I can fix this on the go. Might be able to. Let's go ahead and have a look and see if I can do this thing on the go. And, I don't know if you all have noticed what the time is, but we're going to be announcing a Legionnaire of the Month in just a moment. But I'm going to see if I can get this damn thing finished first. Frustrating as ever. So, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and move that away. Okay. Alright. Let's hope that's a little bit better than what it was on before. We're making a stream together on air. One moment. Let's see. This could be the one that fixes it. Okay. We'll hope that makes a difference. Let me know if it does. If it doesn't, then... I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys and gals. Yeah. We got this together at the very least, which is good. But, yeah. We'll see. Rogue Games, your brother is coming home tomorrow from New Zealand. So he's coming from New Zealand to your home, or he's coming home to New Zealand? Lotum the Beard Ring. The Beard Ring is the Legionnaire of the month? Yeah, maybe. I think it's about time we announce, right? I think it's about time that we announce the Legionnaire of the month. Now, those of you who don't know what the Legionnaire of the month is, it is one of you who goes above and beyond the call, essentially. That can be engaging on Facebook, Twitter, on YouTube itself, or doing a whole heap of, work within the community itself on the Discord. But yeah, it has been a while, and Dante's been up there for a while as well. So we're gonna do our piss poor drum roll, and we're gonna give congratulations to the Spaniard. Congratulations, the Spaniard, also known as the Crazy Spanish Guy on YouTube. You are our Legionnaire of the month. You're an excellent addition to the community. You've been nominated for a long time now, and it is definitely time that you are among the Lotums. And something that I really appreciate what the Spaniard does, and that I can't often display in these town halls. So each town hall I do a art reel. So that's all the fan art that's been submitted on the Discord over the month. Now the Spaniard doesn't do traditional art. The Spaniard does poems and songs and all kinds of really, really awesome texts. And those aren't easy for me to display. And so unfortunately, he doesn't get the kind of showcase that he should. And I'm gonna go ahead and try and read one of those out now. So bear with me for a moment while I try and get a voice. I don't know what the voice is going to be yet. We'll try and do something. It's probably going to be old man reading voice. Air out the thunder, lightning it breaks. Air all the whispers that come with the wind. Stars above Sovngarde shine bright again. For the world eater's thumb met its fate. Dragonborn ride above. Apologies, I'm trying my best here. Dragonborn, ride to the skies above. Dragonborn, tear right through death. Clear out the clouds with your powerful roar, echoes of Akatosh flame. Heroes of old, they gather in tow. Heroes, unleash all your blades. Chant with the deafening screams of the dead. Come to the Dragonborn's aid. Air out the thunder, the lightning it breaks. Air all the whisper, the wind. Stars above Sovngarde shine bright again. For the world eater's thumb met its fate. And the sons of the snow will stand tall again. For in Sovngarde history was made. In Sovngarde we shine bright again. Apparently my voice was actually having some issues. We got there. God damn. Yeah, I would love to hear that in Leon's Tale. I really would, because it's a fantastic piece of writing, and the Spaniard, congratulations, definitely deserved. And I apologize for the weak voice, but yeah, I am having some issues. Usually whenever I'm trying to do a character's voice as well, I spend some time getting into it, but yeah, there we go. We got there. We got there. Ah, dear. Oh. So, we have a Legionnaire of the month. We'll keep those questions on rolling and we'll see how we do. Braden Finn, am I going to be in a new Character Crusade? As in the Character Crusade channel, I really like being in the podcasts. I would like to try and collaborate more with other YouTubers. The tough thing though is sometimes it's just schedules. It just comes down to scheduling really. But podcasts are much easier to attend, and I really do enjoy coming along to those. AFSDL. Jake, are you okay? Are you alright? We're doing alright? Aesthetic Gaming, will the book follow the exact story of Zealand? No, so it's the lore itself is separate from the Zealand podcast. It's separate from our story. So it's being told from an impartial narrator's point of view. And the way the book is written, it's written so that it could be happening in your backyard, because that's the whole thing with Zealand. Is that you're meant to be able to play as yourself with your group of friends in game. And so the way that I've written it is so that it sounds like it could be happening right where you are. as much as possible. You know, some parts are super specific, other parts are much more vague, so that they could be happening in your backyard, or this could be happening in your country right now, or it could be happening anywhere else in the world. It's open to interpretation essentially, but yeah, it's I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. I've talked before about how difficult I find writing sometimes, because I'll usually go back to the start, and then, you know, I just like keep on going back and back and back. But this time I'm actually really happy with everything. I've gone through, I've read it all again, and I'm actually happy with it. And that's a rare thing for me. It's a very rare thing. Yeah. Those of you who don't know what we were talking about before about the podcast, etc., Couch Warrior TV is another YouTube role-playing channel. I highly recommend you check them out. Essentially, like my recommendations, if you just go to the main channel page, there's a whole heap of channels that are featured alongside the side, and yeah, I highly recommend any of those channels that are listed there. So there you go. Yeah, actually, Yuli, very true. We should be doing a fan art roll, and so we are going to do that. Let's see if it's actually going to work this time. I'm going to disappear into the ether. I'm now disappeared. And there we go. Our fan art roll begins. I hope. Come on, roll. There we go, it's rolling. Hey, here we go. The background guard does indeed have a name. That is Gallig the Guard, named after Gallig Halros, who is actually in the chat at the moment. So if you're here, Gallig, say hello. I'm glad you're having a good day now, Ray. Even with all of our technical difficulties, we still managed to have a hangout, and that's the main thing. It might not be as professional as I would like, but we're here. I'm glad you're interested, Aesthetic, because it's the same thing. Everyone has a different style, right? Everyone has a different voice, and it's really cool seeing all those different styles. The Vader Triton is awesome. This one is super special as well. Inigo is rendered perfectly in that picture, and that is our art for January. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that away, and I'm going to pop back. Hello, I've returned. Philip, do I have any tips on making a story interesting? That's a tough one. It's tough to make them interesting, because what might be interesting to you might not be interesting to another person. But I feel like it is all down to the characters. It's driven by the characters. The characters should be the one that's moving the story forward. And you're wanting to try and find, challenging arcs for them, because drama and tension is what makes a story like compelling. At least, unless it's like a comedy or something like that. But even they still have their tension. There are definitely the two sides, and it's good to balance those. And that's why I really enjoy role-playing games, as in like your tabletop role-playing games, because that's a really interesting kind of collaborative story making that's happening, because you have the game master who is in control of the world, but then you've got the players who are also crafting the story as well. And everything that's happened in Zealand so far in season 1, we couldn't have one person couldn't have wrote that story, but we wrote it together. So everyone that was a participant in that story, they wrote it, because we were making actions based on like instinct, and that's not always what you do when you're writing. So if you are trying to plan something out, it can be interesting to go that route. Go through, try run something as a role-playing game and see how that actually turns out, because you can get some really interesting reactions that way. I hope it helps. I hope it helps. The Ranting English. Have I ever thought about making a voice character mod for Leon on Skyrim? Yes, I have, and I think it's just about finding the right person for it, because I've had people approach me before saying, you know, I'd love to be able to make one, but unfortunately because of like, I guess their own time commitment and the rest, it just hasn't turned out. But I'd love to be able to approach someone like Smart Blue Cat to see if he would be interested in collaborating on something like that, because obviously Inigo is a smash out amazing character, and if anyone could be making it, then that'd be pretty awesome. Yeah. Have I ever thought about doing professional voice acting? I have, but it's I guess it's I don't know, it's not it's not easy to get into. I guess it's like regular acting, it's not easy to get into, especially I guess when I'm putting so much time into this as well. I don't often look for work or opportunities outside of YouTube because this is my passion. I mean, the thing is at the same time, I do love acting. So if a voice acting opportunity did come up, I would 100% take it. That would be an awesome opportunity. But yeah, yeah, that's true, Tyson. It definitely is. I mean, the thing that I need to do to start with is just get a reel together. You know, get a reel together, that's getting started, and then just go from there. And I haven't done that. So, you know, that's got to happen first. So if I do that, then who knows? Perhaps, you know, perhaps we'll see something. I have done voice acting before for other games and stuff like that, in indie games, which I haven't seen come out. So I guess we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, who knows? Yes, Skyrim is this week. So you'll notice that Fallout was back, and Skyrim is coming out tomorrow as well. So I'm excited about this one. So those of you who don't know, who don't follow the updates, because I know there are people that don't follow updates, Skyrim and Fallout were missing because my mixer essentially died. So that's what you were hearing on some of the other episodes. So you were hearing it on like Cataclysm, you were hearing it in Frost as well, and I had the same problem on those. And so what I had to do was go back and re-record everything, which is always frustrating to do because I just wouldn't release those with any kind of static or anything else in there. So that's why I had to go back, try and do them again, and now it's working because I've got a new mixer, thankfully, and so far it's working quite well, other than when it just goes to one channel, which it did at the start of the live stream. But hey, that happens, right? That happens. I feel like this is the town hall we've had the most kind of difficulties along the way, but we're still able to chat, and that's the main thing. Yeah. Philip, what do I enjoy about XCOM 2? Making shots. Hitting 95% shots that should hit. That's what I enjoy. I hate missing those ones, so yeah. Yeah. XCOM's coming back as well, don't worry. Same kind of deal. For the most part, like, I want to make sure that we have that, you know, fortnightly at the very least. But it should be weekly. Yeah, I know, 100% chance to hit and they miss. Yeah, that's XCOM for you. Yeah. Dragon Cole, of course I remember you. I seldom forget a name. I usually recognize display pictures, but I've got a lot of names up here, and you're definitely one of them. Oh dear. Well, good luck with that, fax. I hope that goes okay. Nick, yes, we are definitely having our post-Town Hall Patreon chat after this. Aesthetic Gaming, Deliverance, or Mountain Blade 2? Mountain Blade 2 all the way. Kingdom Come Deliverance looks amazing, but god damn, I am excited about Mountain Blade. I've been excited about Mountain Blade 2 for like 10 years, it feels like. Probably almost has been 10 years, that's ridiculous. Probably even longer. But, I mean, I'm a massive fan of Warband, and before I started doing YouTube, it was easily my most played game. So I'd definitely play the crap out of that when that comes out, and I'd 100% want to make a roleplay of it, because that is without a doubt one of my favorite games, and just seeing that would be awesome. Some Welsh guy, how did I first get into role-playing? I mean, I've done tabletop role-playing before I started doing this. At least I think I was doing it before I was doing this. Maybe I was doing this first. I can't actually remember. well, I was doing D&D back in the day, so I'd always done that. But yeah, I got into it because I started watching a YouTuber named Inferno Canuck, and yeah, I mean, I've told the story before. It's a bit of a long story, but thank you very much, Aesthetic. Thank you. Much love, much love. Yeah, so essentially he was the one that got me into role-playing, because he kind of showed me that you could, you know, play a game in a completely different way, you know, than I've ever seen before. I know for a lot of YouTubers who are doing role-playing now that Inferno Canuck was kind of like the, you know, their inspiration, the person that they saw and they were like, wow, this is really freaking cool. Yeah. So yeah, definitely Inferno. Yeah, T-Man, that's the thing, like, I know it's the same story for a lot of people, actually, so, yeah. I did see a question before. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, it was about Critical Role. I loved episode 4. Those of you who don't know, I'm obsessed with Critical Role. Absolutely obsessed. I kind of got onto the bandwagon late, so I'm still listening through the first campaign in podcast form whenever I'm outside the house, or whenever I'm doing, you know, housework. I'm always listening to that. But I'm up to date with the second campaign, and if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend that you jump onto it now while it's still early. You know, there are only 4 episodes in, and it is just probably the best entertainment online. It is so freaking good. I know that many of you love it as well, and yeah, I just want to express my love for it because it is just such a good show, so much fun. And I know that you know, there is a huge new audience that's come from campaign 2, and if you aren't watching it yet, totally recommend it. Totally recommend it. So yeah. Jessica, Seeking Sovngarde isn't done yet. That is one of the series that's going to be returning, and it's going to have a pretty interesting start to it. It's going to be quite different from what we've done before, so yeah. Yes, Ethan, it is on Twitch, but it's also on YouTube as well. If you have a look at Geek and Sundry's YouTube channel, that's where they post them all, so essentially you can watch it live on YouTube and or Twitch, and then it gets uploaded a few days afterwards on YouTube, so you can watch it non-live as well, but it's always awesome if you can watch it live. But yeah, highly recommend it. Elin, your cat's sitting and watching? That's awesome. Good cat. Good cat. Nice. Nice. Anything like Garfield? Is he likely to push anyone off a roof, maybe? No? Thoughts on older RPGs? Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale. I played them. I played them originally when they were out, and I haven't touched them again for a long time, but I really want to. Really want to. I'm glad that you found it, Stately Raven. It's so good, right? It's absolutely fantastic. Aesthetic Gaming. So I didn't actually say anything about the reviews. The reviews just kind of stopped. So I started doing those reviews right before I went away on holiday at the end of the year. I stopped them when I was doing that, and then I kind of stopped them altogether because I kind of realized that, oh damn it, the title's wrong. Thank you, Brayden. Thank you for pointing out. It isn't January. It is indeed February. So that was wrong as well. Technical difficulties all around. It's an absolute mess today, but that's how we do things here on the channel. God damn. Yeah, so I did stop doing them. I realized that it wasn't what I was initially wanting from that. I was hoping it was going to be more of a discussion between myself and the rest of you, and it didn't quite happen the way that I was thinking it was going to. So essentially what I'm going to do from now on, especially when that comes back, is that I'm going to be having those discussions through the Discord channel. So essentially after The Walking Dead has aired, I'm going to be jumping onto the Discord and in the main voice chat having a chat about it, essentially, because the main reason I started doing those reviews in the first place was to kind of have that chat, and it was more just like me giving my thoughts, and I want to be able to hear your thoughts and theories as well. So I think us doing that through Discord is probably going to be the best thing, and it's another chance for us to just hang out as well. So there we go. Savage Randy, yes, I did talk about doing a Dark Brotherhood roleplay for Skyrim. That is still in the works as well. It's essentially, I'm just holding out for something to end for it to be able to take its slot. But yeah, I can understand that, Yuli. I can understand that. I know a lot of people don't get that, but yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, well, I know Wanderer. it could very well be January, right? It could very well be. But yeah, no, it is meant to be February. It's definitely meant to be February, but yeah. Have you ever thought about trying a Skyrim character who follows the Green Pact? I actually don't know what the Green Pact is. I feel like I should know what the Green Pact is, but I don't know. So maybe you can school me on that. Nick Moore, what is your second favorite genre other than apocalypse? It's like a tough tie between fantasy and sci-fi. I mean, I love them both equally, and I don't think I'd be able to choose between one or the other. I fluctuate between liking one more than the other, so yeah. There isn't a date for Season 2 of Zealand yet. It is quite possibly going to be a fortnight, because we're recording next week, Saturday. We're actually recording the 10th of February, if it all goes according to plan, so yeah. Pringles, the Green Pact is a pact taken by Wood Elves to not eat or damage nature. So they feast on human and mer flesh. Ah, interesting. Okay, cool. Right. Or is it that you eat what you kill? Oh, I guess because if you kill humans. Ooh. That's tough. That's tough. What character of yours would you most likely either take to a party or grab a beer with? That's a tough one. That's a tough one because they're all a bit grim, right? I feel like I'd like to sit down and have some mead with Leon. Yeah. Galahad, have I ever thought about posting a D&D video in the channel? Yeah, I have actually. I've had thoughts about doing that, but yeah. Maybe we'll see about that in the future. Where'd the name Rikon come from? So that came from Battlestar Galactica. There is a ship, a little-known ship called the Rikon, I guess. Yeah, because you've got the Galactica or just Galactica. Rikon was a battleship. It was destroyed. I just really like the name, and it stuck. That's why I decided to use it, and that's where that came from. Yeah. The Wanderer, have I ever thought about doing a Morrowind roleplay? Yep, totally. That and Oblivion as well, but again, it is it's a time thing, really. It's a time thing. That's something that we might do, heaven forbid, once Leon's Tale is finished, because eventually it will finish. There's still a lot more to be told in it, of course, but it is, you know, there will come a time for it to end. And as for that, there is also going to be a time for this to end. We're coming towards the end of the Town Hall. If you have any questions that you haven't been able to get in so far, please do let me know now. We're going to do a speed round. I'm going to try and answer it as quickly as possible. Let's see. Do I ever want to do an RP collab? Yes, 100% I do. It is just down to times and schedules whether or not that is possible. If I like Baldur's Gate, you need to try Pillars of Eternity. I would love to try it. I definitely would. Can I see myself doing a multiplayer RP? Yep, totally. But again, it's purely just down to scheduling and time. Do I have any tips for a freelance photographer? Well, I do come from a videography background, but I think that'll be a little bit too long for me to answer, so I apologize. I'll try and get back to you on that later. Do I like chicken nuggets? Yes, I like chicken nuggets, sweet and sour sauce. Let's see. How long is Leon's tail? Clever. I don't know. You've stumped me on that one. Will Logan's Tale ever come back to New Vegas? Yes, it will once the Fallout 3 story is complete. Essentially, this is him remembering everything that had happened to him up until the point he gets shot in the head. Spoiler alert. But I guess most of you have already seen that because that's the order in which you're meant to watch it. Let's see. The Ranting English. I missed it. Damn, I'm sorry. No, damn, it's gone. Okay, would I play Fallout 1 or 2 on the channel? Possibly, might be a good live stream one. Not a question, but I love your beard. Thank you, Some Guy Welsh. Papa Bear, how do I feel about Shadowrun? Shadowrun's an incredible universe. I think it's amazing. I feel like Bright took a lot of influence from that, which I haven't actually seen yet. I still need to see it. Nick Moore, do I LARP at all? I have not LARPed, but I wouldn't say no. Spoiler, when is... That's the new... Yeah, well, I know it is the opening of New Vegas. Yeah, I know. But some people just don't know about the New Vegas stuff, I guess. When is the next episode of Skyrim going to be out? It is going to be out tomorrow. So Skyrim, when it is meant to come out, comes out on Saturdays, and Fallout 3 Logan's Tale comes out on Saturdays? Sundays. I meant to say Sunday. Sunday. Megs, Bunny, what is my McDonald's order? Most likely a quarter pounder. Except here it's just called a quarter pounder. I know in the States it's like quarter pounder with cheese. We just have cheese. Cheese is just there. As there is no option. Well, I guess you could ask for it without, but yeah. Ranting English, you said, I imagine Charlotte seeing your character's state in Zealand. Yeah, I'm pretty messed up. It's not looking good at all. Let's see. The Wanderer, since this is coming to the end, if we become a patron, will you still do the group hangout? Yep, totally. 100%. If you become a patron today, you can still come along to the chat. Blah, blah. Sorry, apologies. You can still come along to the hangout afterwards. My stomach's starting to rumble. That's not a good sign. Let's see. What is my favorite beer or alcohol? At the moment, it is Tokyo Dry by Steinlager, which is a New Zealand beer. So there we go. Okay, I feel like that's it. We are at the end of the Town Hall. Thank you again to everyone who has been able to make it along to this one. Thank you to everyone that's put up with the technical difficulties that we had this time. Yeah, last minute things, OBS just deciding to follow and pretty much delete itself and trying to rebuild things from scratch. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough, but we got there. We got there in the end. So again, thank you all for making it along. Thank you again to all the patrons who have made this possible. I'm not going to be doing the list here anymore because it takes, well, it takes up a decent block of the Town Hall, so I hope that you can understand that. I hope you like the new layout, the new credit system that we have after each episode, and those of you who are patrons, make sure that you come along to the post-Town Hall chat. We're going to have a hangout, we're going to have a chat. It's going to be good. But again, thank you all for making it. It's been good. I'm a little tired. My voice is gone, but hey, it's cool. It's cool seeing you all again, and that's the main thing. And if you're watching this afterwards, thank you for sitting through and watching it and kind of listening to all the updates and everything that's happening throughout this month. Definitely not the smoothest Town Hall we've ever done, but hey, we got there in the end. So thank you. I've been Rikon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.